Good morning, everyone, and happy Thursday. My name is Jennifer Avalon with Keller Williams Southeast Los Angeles.
My name is Ruben Sariñana with Century 21, A Better Service, and I'm excited to be here with both fine ladies.
Yes. Hi, everyone. My name is Paola Melendez from Century 21 All-Stars.
So I'm sure the audience is curious to find a little bit more about you. Tell us about your background. I know that you started off as a loan processor, but where did you grow up?
Yeah, so I grew up in the city of Paramount, which is very close to Downey, and I went to Paramount High School. So I'm a pirate girl, 1997, I graduated. So actually my motivation was really that I was a single mother at 18 years old, so I needed to get a job. I got hired to be an assistant for an investor.
Okay.
And from there, I just loved it. I loved everything about it. You know, the lending, the real estate, inspections, from basically A to Z. So I was a processor, you know, underwriter, loan officer, realtor. So finally, I feel like, you know, I'm like in love with being a realtor. So this is where I'm at right now.
Your home.
Yes.
That's exciting.
So you mentioned that you were a single mom when you started. What can you tell our single moms that are realtors?
Well, it takes time. You know, it's about being patient. So what worked for me was that, you know, I was an assistant for the first 5 years. So I was still getting paid, but at the same time, I was learning. I always recommend everyone be an assistant first, because that will really teach you about real estate, about everything, the language, the lingo, and that will actually give you a better success. Well, that's what worked for me.
Right.
Get your feet wet.
Okay.
So, and I was getting paid, which we needed that extra paycheck.
It's just like going to college and getting paid to go.
Yeah.
Right.
Why not? That's awesome.
What were your methods that you did initially when you started doing your own real estate?
It's so different when I started from now, but when I started, basically the first thing was family and friends.
Okay.
So that's
So
what
your
kind
sphere.
of
Your sphere.
yeah.
Okay, so
what
that's a
got
good
me
nugget.
in. You know, all my friends, my family, I told them I just got my license. Give me a chance, give me a shot. You know, if you want to buy, if you want to sell a house. So that's how I kind of started. Friends and family. After my friends started referring me to other people, family also to other people they know, and just kind of little by little, I started building my database. Then I started learning about marketing, because even being an assistant, I didn't know you had to market.
Proactive,
You know
right,
what I mean? I
Right.
thought they're just gonna call me.
Yeah.
You know, but no, I would go out, I would go to a club. I'm like, here's my business card. You want to buy?
Good job. But I think overall, we get the impression that you really love the real estate industry.
I do.
You love working as a realtor. So if you could go back in time, would you do it all over again?
Definitely.
And then, is there anything that you would do differently though?
I think I would have started my database when I was younger. I really didn't, even though I thought I had a database, I really didn't have a database,
Yeah.
you know? I probably started a good database probably like a good 7-8 years ago. But if I would have started a database 20 years ago, it would have been amazing right now.
So for those that are listening and you're barely beginning, make sure that you start the database as soon as possible.
Exactly.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
So it sounds like you started off, you know, at working with an investor. So
Right.
it seems like a smaller operation, right?
Right.
At what point did you feel that, at what point did you move to a brokerage or a franchise?
I've been in All-Stars already 6 years. So from there, I'll be honest, you know, even though I started the business 20 years, it took time. It took time for me to get there. So I would say probably the last 10 years has been like the best successful years.
What kind of support did the franchises provide to you?
For me, it was a lot of the environment, and it actually felt like an actual office company. There's a receptionist there all the time. There's people to help you. There's TCs. You know, something's wrong with the computer, they come and fix it. It felt kind of like you work for that company versus you're kind of on your own. You're on your own, but you have all the support.
Of course.
Plus, you have all the motivation they give you. You have all the classes. You have, you know, they mentor you, they give you your numbers, they show you numbers, which it makes you motivate you even more. The training is amazing. You just have a little bit of everything, and consistently you have my broker like pushing me, calls me every day, texts me, so he follows up with me as well, versus other ones they would never even call me. And you close. So I feel with this company it's a totally different change, because he motivates me.
That's great. The differences between
Exactly. Yeah.
operation. Okay.
That's good. So now that you are there at All Stars and you've been able to evolve, where is your business coming from?
So most of my business is so crazy, guys. 70% of my business is coming from Instagram. So I do videos. I probably do videos 3-4 times a week. I post every day. I do like 5-6 stories a day. Most of my buyers are coming from Instagram. I get sellers, I get buyers, I get referrals. You know, the way I'm thinking, that's where the new generation's at, social media. And they're not looking, like you said, at Aviso newspaper like back in the day. Back in the day.
Clasificado.
Yeah, clasificado.
Clasificado. There you go. Oh my God, I put in that once and I don't think I got calls.
That's great.
And since COVID started, obviously you couldn't door knock no more. You couldn't even go inside people's house. So where was people were on their phones?
Yeah, they're affixed to their
They're
phones.
on their social media. So that's a tool I succeeded, and now I'm doing it like literally even more than before. So when COVID started, I got all my business from there, and now even more in this year as well. Most of my business coming from Instagram.
So it sounds like it's the frequency.
Yeah.
What do you think you're doing different that you can maybe share with the audience?
You know what? I just do videos, and I do post. I talk a little bit about what's going on with the market. I talk a little bit about the lending, the programs, you know, the lenders I work with are offering, which that's the first thing buyers want to know. How much down payment do I have to bring in? What's my rate? What credit score do I need? So I talk about from credit score to even having a bankruptcy.
Nice.
How long, you know, can you purchase a house after a BK, after a foreclosure? So I talk about everything when it comes to lending, to even appraisal, inspections, escrow deposits, contracts. So it's literally, if you go to my page, I talk about every step on a transaction when you purchase a house from A to Z. The feedback I get from people is that like I feel like you're real, and I actually do just record myself once. I don't try to sound like
Professional.
super smart or like, you know, it is
Take
what
two,
it is.
take 3.
Yeah. So people tell me I feel like I could trust you, and to me that's my priority.
The likability.
Yeah.
I know we had talked about how the importance of having a database. Is there a particular database or CRM that you use that you want to share with everybody?
Well, I was using Top Producer, but then my assistant created this database for me. It's kind of my own personal database. It's not like a system I use from any of those. There's so many
Companies,
out there,
yeah.
you know? And that's what's been working for me. And it's
So
pretty
the
computer savvy.
takeaway, everybody, is it really doesn't matter what CRM or database you use.
That's right.
What
You just
matters
have
is that
one.
you actually have one, right? So
Exactly.
you don't have to spend thousands of dollars to be a top producing agent and keep track of your database. It's just that you actually have one, right?
And that you use it.
And
on
that
the
you
constant.
use it.
Yeah, the best one is the one you use, right?
Yeah,
You have it and you use it, you know, so it really doesn't matter if whatever database works for you. You just have to be consistent.
Absolutely.
Consistent and use it at all times.
Awesome.
Okay.
Yeah.
So going back in time, just from the time that you started in the business to now, was there anything that you did at one point in your career that just catapulted your business? Like, let's say you were just like an average agent and then you started doing XYZ and then your business completely changed and had a breakthrough.
To be honest with you, Instagram did change my whole like real estate life a little bit
Thanks to the
better.
pandemic,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Instagram.
Who would have known that?
Yeah, so many positive, good takeaways.
But this is something I could share, and I feel like a lot of agents do. It's probably the biggest mistake. They have other jobs. So when you have another job, you don't focus 100% in your business. So me, it was really hard, you know, for me to give my lending business. Now, also, I need to learn how to delegate. I could be a little, you know, how do I call myself? Perfectionist, I guess. I like to
Yes.
do everything myself. And that's, you know, once you become busy, you need to learn how to delegate and trust whoever you hire. That was, once I started to do that, like, oh my God, I even felt like just better, less stress. I had more time for myself, for my family. If you're a top producer and you're doing all yourself, I don't think it's,
You're not able to
You're-
maximize
no,
yourself.
yeah,
Yeah,
no.
yeah.
You're falling
you
short
need
in
help,
every
you know?
area.
You need to learn how to delegate, and if you have a second job, you need to kind of let go of that second job, because if not, you're never going to succeed on it.
What would you say is ideal, and what would your opinion be for those that may contemplate in getting an assistant, and at what point should they consider?
I would just say like about, you know, if you're closing at least 25, 30 deals, I feel like you need an assistant, you know?
Yeah.
Because that will make you even
Leveraging.
close more deals, you know?
Absolutely.
So yeah, I think everyone needs an assistant.
At a certain point.
Yeah.
So I know there's a lot of talk about the shift, right? The shift that's happening in the real estate market. We talked about it a little bit. How are you because I get it a lot. I you know, from my sphere or just people that I come across, always like, oh, I'm gonna wait, or I'm waiting for the market to drop or tank.
Or they tell you, I heard the real estate is hard now.
Yeah. Or like, how's your business? But like,
Yeah.
kind of like scared to ask, right?
Yeah.
So how are you handling those questions?
You know what? I think everything's about adjusting. You know, you have to adjust to today's market. At the same time, right now, the way I'm seeing it is like, you know, I'm not lying, for like 3 years, I wasn't able to take a vacation. So I'm like, okay, I could take a vacation this year. So a little bit more with my family, things I want to do is so, but at the same time, I'm adjusting to the market. So like I was telling Ruben, you know, now I'm going more after sellers, right? Because that's where you have to be. There's less buyers. Why? Because interest rates went up. So you have to kind of adjust to today's market and just motivate people. To me, it's just an adjustment. That's all there is.
Okay, so now that you're making this adjustment and you're, you know, starting to go after sellers, can you share a little bit what you're doing to do that, like to get sellers?
I'm going in a particular area that I live, so I'm kind of the neighborhood realtor.
Okay.
So I farm about 1,500 people around my area, and I just do it consistently because what I want them to know is my face.
Okay. So when you say consistently, how often do you do it?
I'm at
How
4
many
times a
days?
year.
4 times a year.
Four
Okay.
times a year. I'm doing it 4 times a year, and I send different type of material. You know, I could send a newsletter. I could kind of send, you know, check the, you know, how much your property's worth. I could just send a calendar. Football season is coming. I like to do the what is that? Fantasy football?
Yes, fantasy
There you go.
football is this.
Yeah.
Yes.
You
good.
know, I just kind of just keep putting my face in their mail. You know, so like, okay, now I'm
of
ready to
mind.
sell. Okay, Paola. You know, Paola. So I think that's what everyone does, right?
Of course, yeah. You want to be like they say, a seller or buyer will work with the 1 or 2 agents that first come to mind. So you want to be that 1 or 2 agent, absolutely.
Okay. What has evolved since you said since 2020? Do you know your numbers? Do you know how many transactions you closed that year? How much you closed last year? And maybe this year, do you know what your numbers might be?
For 2021, I closed 47 sites, so
Nice.
47 transactions,
Good
and
job.
this year I'm up to 25. So my goal is to do 60.
Okay.
So
That's
let's see
awesome.
if it happens.
You could do it. You could
Yes.
do it. You could. Now you mentioned that you had found it difficult to take vacations before, and now because of the shift, a lot of people do have, especially top producing agents, have a difficult time of that work-life balance. What tips do you have, or what do you do, and then any tips that you could share with others too?
Okay, April 2020, I purchased a house in Lake Arrowhead.
Oh, that's
So
Congratulations.
that was my dream. I would go to Lake Arrowhead the last 15 years, spend thousands of dollars on a cabin, on a house.
Right.
And I always wanted to buy a house up there. So I purchased it when the market was right in Lake Arrowhead, and that's my distress. I'm actually leaving tonight to Lake Arrowhead. And I actually work from over there, and I've sold a couple houses over there too.
Nice.
Is that
Me too,
right? Oh
yes,
my
it's
gosh.
beautiful. So right now, that's my go-to, Lake Arrowhead. So every other weekend, I take off, go to 2 days. I still, like, again,
Yes.
take my laptop,
That's awesome.
and I just come, and I feel like,
That's nice.
Relax, ready to hit it
Awesome.
again.
Congratulations.
Is there anything else that you feel that you can, you know, share and say, okay, look, guys, do this,
Yeah.
and I promise you, if you stay on it, it's gonna happen.
yeah. Well, it's discipline. You have to have a schedule. You know, you have to stick to your schedule. You have to follow up. Like, once again, we talk about database, but it's really just being consistent, discipline, and follow that schedule. Don't let any distractions. You have to do it and watch. You follow that, you know, your whatever know you have, everything you're
plan.
gonna do, your plan. Within months, you're gonna start seeing, you know, people calling you, people coming. So you just have to follow through. You know, discipline your time, stick to it. Yeah.
That's awesome.
As Paola said, be patient. It doesn't happen overnight.
Yes,
You're not
it
going
takes
to
time.
get that skill set overnight. So
Yes.
just be consistent. I'm going to ask one last question.
Yes.
So we know the importance of touching the database. Do you touch the your database systematically? How often do you do it? I know some agents have client appreciation events. Some people, you know, have it in their calendar to call like everyone in their database once a quarter. So what do you do,
Yes.
and how often do you do
I try to do it 4 times a year, but I've been wanting to do a client appreciation party. So I've been remodeling my house in La Mirada for like a year.
Okay.
Once it's done, because all my clients have been so awesome, supporting, they always cheer me. I love that color. I love the tie you chose. I'm gonna have a huge party I'm gonna invite that, and I'm gonna invite you guys too.
Yay!
For sure.
There it is.
And I'll put it on social
Okay.
media.
Yeah.
Thankful to everyone that followed through my remodeling journey. It's been a year, it's crazy. But actually, that client appreciation parties, I'm seeing them a lot. You know,
Okay.
we wanted to do one.
We
So I'm like,
do.
when my house is done, I'm gonna have all my clients come in. You know,
Oh,
That's
awesome.
nice.
that would be
That's
nice.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
gonna
But
be
we're
great.
looking forward to it.
Yes,
for sure
that'd be
you guys
awesome.
can do it. Yes.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
Well, no, actually, I think it was
Think
great.
we're
But
good,
if they want to look you up and follow you,
Yeah.
what are your handles? What is it that your social media outlets out there?
Hi, yes. So follow me on Instagram, Realtor Paola Melendez. I'm your girl for all your real estate. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for having me. I
Yes.
really,
Thank
it
you
was
so
lovely
much.
meeting you guys.
Yes, and
Yeah.
thank you everyone for tuning in. This is again session 19 with Lunch with the Top
19.
Producer. Yeah, we did it. Good job.
Yes.
Good
Hey.
job.